Hey guys, it's Collin here at eTrailer, and today we have a 2019 Nissan Murano. We've been test fitting some hitch-mounted accessories on it. Right now we have the etrailer.com tilting and folding cargo carrier loaded up. We'll just go over some of the features of it and show you how it interacts with your Murano. Now this cargo carrier is going to be a really great accessory to be able to get any of that excess cargo, luggage, anything like that out of your Murano, get it stowed and strapped down on your cargo carrier. That'll create more space on the inside for things maybe you don't want to keep outside, whether they're heat sensitive or you don't want them exposed to rain or sleet. And it'll just give you more leg and elbow room so you're not as uncomfortable during your trip. For the cargo carrier itself, we do have a 500-pound weight capacity. It's going to be more than enough to get your cargo loaded up and secured. You see we have these nice raised side rails all the way around it. It's going to make for great tie-down points. You can use bungee cords, cam buckle straps, ratchet straps if you have those lying around. If you don't have any to spare, we do sell plenty of those here at eTrailer, so just check out our website and get what's going to be right for you. For storage space, let's measure from the inside rail to inside rail to see, and this will help you out for deciding if your cargo will fit inside. We have 60 inches on the inside rail for the width right here. We have 24 inches on the length, and then for the depth, from the top of the floor to the top of the rail is going to be 5.5 inches. That should give you a pretty good idea of if maybe you have a bigger cooler, you want to see if that's going to fit inside the raised side rails. You'll be able to figure that out. We have a nice mesh bottom to it that's going to make for very easy cleaning. So maybe you have a ton of muddy gear that you don't want to put on the storage space on the back of the Murano or on your floorboards in the front. You can just strap everything down on here. Maybe it's going to get your cargo carrier dirty, but you could just take a hose or a power washer and spray it right off. It'll be good to go for next time. We are looking at a sturdy steel construction for it. It's got a nice black powder coat finish. It's going to be very durable. It's going to resist rust and corrosion, and it just gives it a nice look. Now, one thing that people run into with cargo carriers is a lot of times when they have a lot of cargo stacked very high on it, a lot of times you can't gain access to your trunk. So in the case of our Murano, we don't have as long of a hatch, so it's not as big of an issue. But if you have multiple vehicles in your household, then you can use this for other 2-inch receivers. Then this feature I'm going to show you is going to come in handy. So you can see how, I'll get my tape measure out. We'll just give you a visual representation. If you have cargo stacked up pretty high, let's go ahead and shut the trunk first. If your cargo is stacked straight up, you can see that the hatch did not make contact with the tape measure at all. That's kind of representing where your cargo would be. But, like I said, one of the defining features about this cargo carrier is that it tilts away. So if you have a minivan in your household and you want to use it for both vehicles, we'll show you how to use the tilt-away feature to gain access to the trunk. I'm going to pull both these pins in clips, and then let it tilt away. And that's just going to take that angle of your cargo loaded. Instead of being straight up and down, it's going to be more that way, so that those longer hatches, maybe, those minivans like Honda Odyssey comes to mind, they have a longer hatch that comes wide open. It's just going to help out a lot. We'll just show you kind of how that works. Open up the trunk. You can see it didn't make contact before. It's really not going to make contact now. So maybe you have stuff hanging over top, taking up space inside here right above the shank, then it would be applicable to tilt it away. Now, I do want to advise, like I said, it does have a 500-pound weight capacity. So if you've got 300-400 pounds loaded on there, you're probably going to want an extra set of hands, just because trying to bring it back up and then hold it there while you're replacing the pins could be very strenuous on your back. Right now it's empty, so it's not too hard. Just bring it back up. I'm just going to support it with my knees right there. Replace this top pin. This is kind of just a stopper pin, so it just kind of leans right on top of it like that. The second pin right there goes through the shank to hold it in place. I'm not going to replace that one right now, just because in a little bit I'll have to take it off. Now, with any hitch-mounted accessory, you are going to have added length to your vehicle. In the case of our Nissan Murano, let's measure from the bumper to the outermost point. It's about 40 inches added onto the back of your vehicle. Now, let's say you've gone on a long road trip, you've gotten to your destination, but you got no place to store your cargo carrier. Well, you don't really want to travel around with this length added on. So what we can do is actually just fold it up towards the vehicle. And like I said, that pin that it did not replace, you would just pull that, and then fold it up. Now let's grab our pin again and replace it. Might have to move it around a bit just to get it all the way through. And we'll grab our clip as well. You definitely don't want to forget that. Get the right angle on that. Now let's measure again from the bumper to the outermost point. Just because of how it's sitting, it's going to be a little difficult to get an accurate measurement. I'll try to bring my hand down right there. It's about 14 inches. You can give or take half an inch just because it is a little bit odd trying to get this measurement because I can't get the tape measure to make contact with the bumper. But yeah, so we took away a lot of that space. So if you're driving around town, maybe you're out of town, this is going to save you a lot of trouble. Maybe even you're at home, you don't want to take your cargo carrier out of the hitch, then you could still be able to shut your garage door more times than not by folding it up. Now let's see how it attaches to our hitch real quick. This is going to be for 2" by 2" hitch receivers, like I said, and we do have a anti-rattle threaded hitch pin that is tightened down. That takes away the shake and play from our cargo carrier. You can see the entire vehicle is moving. It's going to take away a lot of that noise you might experience with other cargo carriers that just have a standard 5/8 pin holding it in. The last thing I want to point out is that we do have a hitch aligner. It's just a small little bracket that goes around our shank. Once you install this in your Murano the first time, you take this bracket, push it up against the face of your hitch, tighten it down, and then now every time you take your cargo carrier out of the hitch and then put it back in, it's going to align that hitch pin hole every single time. So you're not going to have to worry about laying down, trying to look inside there and get it lined up correctly every time. You can just stick your hand up here, tighten down the bolt, you're going to be good to go. Well, thank you all for watching, and I hope this information helped you out. But that'll do it for our test fit of the etrailer.com tilting and folding cargo carrier on our 2019 Nissan Murano.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action. This simulates turning corners or evasively maneuvering. Once we get to the full speed bumps, we'll see the up and down action. This will be just like driving in and out of a parking lot, parking garage, or driveway. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement.